All right, ergonomics. In the 1700s, the term ergonomics was coined. And not until World War II, when Henry Ford, he was the first person to bring about ergonomics. He brought it about in his automobile factory. So, where we are is, what is ergonomics? It's a marketing buzzword, and it's taken from two Latin words, ergon meaning work and normus meaning the principle or law. So basically what it means is the laws of work. Why do we talk about the laws of work today? Today it signifies that we work harder and smarter. Ergonomics has been going around for a little while. As you see, in 1993, the Board of Certification describes ergonomics as a body of knowledge about human abilities, human limitations, and human characteristics that are relevant to design. And design is the application of this knowledge to the design of tools, machines, systems, tasks, jobs, and environments for safe, comfortable, and effective use. The National Institution of Occupational Safety and Health, of which we have a part of in NIB, in 1997 defines ergonomics as the discipline that strives to develop and assemble information on people's capabilities and capacities for use in designing jobs, products, workplace, and equipment. Ergonomics, therefore, is part of the workforce. It's part of national insurance. It's part of health. It also states that ergonomics is the science of fitting jobs to people. Prior to the introduction of ergonomics, there was a job to be done, and we had to do the job. Now, when there is a job to be done, we look at the people and the tools that are used to do the job. And this means that we have to design and improve the workplace, your workstation, your tools, your equipment, your procedure and how you do work. And all of this, if this is done, must be done in order to limit fatigue, which you can get very easily at the job site, and injuries. And while you're doing this, you're achieving personal and organizational goals. And you know, most places where you work have goals which are to do as much as possible. Today, we are here to discuss office ergonomics, because I find in the Bahamas, most of us invariably, whether we're at our work or at home, we sit at a desk. At home, those of us at the desk, we sit at a desk to do our computer work. So we've got to find the right fit, and why should you care to have the right fit? And this will include, with the right fit, we prevent injuries. We're going to look at the workstation and computer setups and exercises. I'm from the rehab department. Exercises is a very important part of my life, and I want exercises to be a very important part of everybody's life. Regardless of what you do, exercises are important. Injuries. The injuries that you can get from, say, a computer setup or working at a desk, there are There are a variety of occupational injuries that have been identified as being associated with work-related factors or activities. Working in the rehab department, we see a lot of these injuries presented to us as occupational hazards. Carpal tunnel syndrome, and I'll go around and I'll go through explaining them later on. Low back pain, rotator cuff tendonitis, tension neck syndrome, wrist tendonitis, and degenerative joint diseases. Carpal tunnel syndrome. According to NIOSH, this is the most commonly reported musculoskeletal disorder in the workplace, and it accounts for 34% of all lost workday injuries and illnesses. It involves the joints and the muscles and the tendons within your wrist. The tendons run up and down, and the bones form the back of the tunnel, and that's why it's called a carpal tunnel, and there is a sheath across, and that's where everything runs up and down. And when those get swollen, painful, we really have a lot of problems, people complaining. Low back pain. Everybody at some time or the other in their life says, oh, my back. Whether it's from bending and picking up something, sometimes it's getting out of bed, mopping, sweeping, gardening, all those different kinds of things. And this is responsible for 15 to 25% of all workers' compensation in the US. I'm afraid we don't have any statistics at the moment for here in the Bahamas. And a lot of it is of persons under the age of 45. 50% of these people are disabled for greater than 6 months. And 75% of those disabled for over 1 year do not return to work. So we have a problem. The next one is what they call rotator cuff tendonitis. The rotator cuff is made up of muscles and tendons in the shoulder, and it helps hold the humerus, which is the head of that bone up here, into the socket, and it provides strength and stability. When we have injuries with the rotator cuff, we have problems moving our arm, and you know this arm, surprisingly, we do it all unconsciously, but we need our arms lifting above this for mostly everything. Hair, dressing, putting on clothes, cooking, all kinds of things. When we can't move that shoulder, we have problems. The rotator cuff muscles move the arm, turning it in and out. Tension neck syndrome. Neck pain can be brought about by a number of things. Stress. Stress on the job can show up as pain or tension, but it doesn't have to be on the job. Stress at home, stress with the children. Stress shows up as neck pain. Why? Because all of the muscles along here tighten up, and we tighten up and cause literally this. Posture is another factor to consider. Bad sitting habits can cause thank you can cause problems. Yep, when we slouch or when we try reading in bed, which I do very frequently, but we put up about 10 pillows and hold our head up, or we're lying on the couch looking